Hi, everyone. I'm Donna Norris, the Seaside Mystic, and today I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about why Spirit chooses certain animals to attract our attention and send messages and whatnot after death, after they cross over. Um, First of all, once a person or an animal crosses over to the other side, they have to have a little bit of time to adjust to going from being in this form to formless. Essentially, their energy, their souls are energy. And while they appear to us in readings in the form with which we knew them, that's because spirit works with us in our frame of reference. Our spirit guides do this, our angels do this, our deceased loved ones and deceased animals do this so that we can recognize them more readily. Okay, so they get across the side to the other side, and maybe they haven't been over there very long, a couple of weeks, but they really want to get a message to you. And they'll, again, like I said, work with your frame of reference, and they'll work with something that's somewhat easy to begin with. Dragonflies are very common, butterflies are really common, birds, they can have their spirit infuse with the spirit of the bird or the spirit of the butterfly, the spirit of the dragonfly, and come to us. I personally have a deceased friend named Charlie who comes to me in the form of a dragonfly. And I always can tell when it's Charlie versus a dragonfly that just happens to be cruising around my porch, is because Charlie shows up on the meditation porch on the side of my house, a certain place under my house, and out by what I call my fairy garden, out in the far reaches of my front yard. He has a certain way of approaching, and he'll go back and forth like this. And and sometimes it's like, choom, choom. And other times it's like this. But I always know it's Charlie. And when I tune in, most oftentimes he has a message for me. Sometimes it's for me, sometimes it's for another friend who he was married to in this life. But I can tell, and I can read his, get his messages that way. I also have spirit guides, of course, and angels who send me butterflies. I know when I'm thinking about doing something, I'm contemplating, I don't know, taking a new action, getting back into doing these videos, maybe making a move or something like that. When they come in and send a butterfly across my path, I know that what I've just been contemplating or what has just been on my mind has their blessing. So it's really comforting to me. I just get sometimes goosebumps when it happens, because some things are minor things like, should I go to the grocery store or not? And some things are major things, like, should I get a new car or not? That kind of thing. So it's really cool that they happen to do that. I know a lot of people really relate to cardinals. And if your loved one knows that on the other side, they can embody a cardinal or a bluebird or a seagull if you live by the shore like I do, and they can come and bring you messages. I have a hawk who comes to visit me seasonally, comes through on her path and makes a nest and has babies and moves on. So, but it's really nice having her here. I always know she comes to the same spot every year and watches. I feel like I'm watched over. So it's really cool then. She brings messages from my guides, which is also nice. And yeah, just wanted to tell y'all about that too. You may have animals that come seasonally. I used to have a deer that would come to the fairy garden in the far reaches of my front yard and have babies. But we've had a little bit too much development here in recent years, and I haven't seen her for a while. So I think she's moved on. But anyway, it was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful to get all of her messages about self-love and self-care and nurturing myself as well as my family. It was really powerful having her here for those visits. And another thing, I kind of want to talk to you about how this can tie into improving relationships with our loved ones after they cross over. We don't have them to talk to face anymore, but we can still talk to them all you have to do is think of your deceased loved one, and a part of their soul comes down to be with you. It's really as easy as that. And you can just talk to them and tell them how you really feel. If there's unfinished business, clean up your side of the street, so that you can walk away clean and with some closure. It's hard sometimes to get past the grief, but once you're in a place where you can be objective and be ready to do that calmly, then I think it's a really good idea to get that going. What you may find in response is a message back from them, either through an animal, maybe directly, depending on how open you are and how much you've worked with tuning up your intuitive senses. But it's really nice. They have a big picture now from the other side that we can't possibly see here in this 3D world that we're in. They can see around the corner. We can't see around the corner. We're trying to figure out, what's in our highest good today. But they know, and they can bring us advice. They can also bring us a change in their perspective on how your relationship might have been when you were here. So it can be super comforting and healing. And you don't necessarily need someone like me. You don't necessarily need a medium to be able to get that. A lot of people get messages from their loved ones by thinking of them, reaching out to them, and then having a pen and paper handy and doing automatic writing and just see what comes out. Sometimes you hear it auditorially. Anyway, you hear it. Sometimes you can actually catch a glimpse of them or smell their cologne or their perfume. You might get a taste in your mouth. Like if their favorite food in the world was pepperoni pizza, all of a sudden, you'll taste pepperoni pizza in your mouth and you'll know they're here. So you can really converse with them. It's just a matter of like tuning in and paying attention. So I just wanted to let you know about those few things, and I hope you find it useful and be blessed. Until next time, bye-bye.